June 24, post-election, July 24 budget, that 50% of all the GCCs in the world are to be in India. And for the rest of them which are already outside of India, they are run by more than 50% Indians only. So if the rest of the GCCs outside of India had 100 people running them, 50 of them were Indians. So either way, almost now for 2 years, GCC has acquired an Indian flavor, and that's been going on with the same expectation and speed. So when we were talking in late June, preparing for the July budget, issues of GCC and how to promote GCC were all being discussed, but by which time it was apparent that this statistic was before us, that 50% will be in India and 50 which are outside are being manned by Indians. So there was a sense of urgency, we had to do something. Equally, there were voices saying, do you want a GCC? It's only going to be something very different from what was IT earlier. Now it's going to be called as GCC. But a bit more going into what made GCCs different from the earlier BPOs was that it had a space for research and furthering technology. It also gave opportunities for companies to do a further higher end research for greater innovation. So it was not just back offices. So the character of GCC itself had a built-in advantage for India in that you had the manpower, the human resources which are so with skill sets which are necessary for running a GCC, but also it was no longer the sweat labor that you're talking about, it required the knowledge component. And therefore, PM Modi was very convinced that we should have a policy approach, which will entice people to have the GCC coming to India rather than policy support need not necessarily be imagined as fiscal support, but we should create the right kind of environment. So we spent quite some time understanding how to go about it. And in that, the CII has been actively engaged and participating with the government. And I must thank them that they have kept the momentum up. So it led to, actually one led to the